Hey guys, welcome back to Vedantu's JEE channel. I hope all of you are doing fine and must be busy in your JEE preparation, irrespective of the year that you are going to appear for this examination. Some of you might be preparing for JEE 2020 or 21 or 2022. So today's session that I have brought for all of you guys, I have deliberately kept it relevant for any year, in fact, for any examination which involves physics. Tell me guys, when you moved from 10th to 11th standard, did you not face a drastic change in the approach towards problem solving? Till 10th standard, when we used to solve the problems, we used to approach problems on the basis of the formulae that were given in a given chapter. In fact, there were very limited formulas, and they were very straightforward in terms of their application in a question, right? But when you move to 11th standard, especially the one who took PCM as their core subjects, you must have noticed that problem solving has become relatively challenging. And people have all of a sudden started saying that you should be more curious about what's happening in a situation and you should be more better in terms of your visualization towards problem solving. And the session that I'm sharing with you all is something which actually comes from my own personal experience as well. Okay, and very precisely the name of the session is also how to solve almost every JEE problem more efficiently. Okay? Sometimes when I was a student, I used to wonder that how a teacher is able to solve the question that easily just by looking at the problem. They have the solution on the tip of their tongue. But me as a student, I struggle through that question. I don't even understand what exactly the question is saying. And that is where I was actually getting prepared for the process of preparing for JEE examination and the struggle that it brings along with it. Okay, so if you are a JEE aspirant, definitely I'm expecting this particular session to be a life-changing one for all of you guys. For all of you, this is me, your Suri Sir, also known as Mogambo on this channel. And in this video, you will be only interacting with my voice. So if you are new to the channel or haven't done it yet, let me ask you to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so that whenever your Suri Sir, your Mogambo comes live, you get the notification. Okay, people? So without wasting any further time, let me take you and let's dive into the problem solving and solve any JEE problem more efficiently. Okay, so guys, imagine if you could solve any problem instantly. How would it make you feel? Wouldn't it give you absolute confidence to crack any examination, be it JEE or any other exam as well? How would you like it if I tell you that you can actually acquire such a level of skill and capability just by following a step-by-step simple process derived from neuroscience? Aren't you super excited to know this revolutionary process? I'm sure you are. But before we get to the process, let's first understand what exactly a skill is from neuroscience point of view. Okay, so answers are definitely lying within our own body, our own mind. And let's first understand, when we say that we want to develop the problem solving skill, what exactly this skill means. So guys, skill is nothing but something called as myelin insulation that wraps neural circuits and that grows according to certain signals. So in the animation below, what you see are the neural circuits which are taking the information from one of the organs to your brain. And in this process, the signal which is flowing from one organ to your brain is nothing but an electrical circuit. It's an electrical shock or an electrical signal, right? Now, if you will notice, there is a difference between how the electrical signal is traveling and how fast it is traveling in the two strands here, right? The two circuits here. So in the left one, the strand is actually relatively thinner, and the right one is thicker one. And in the thicker one, the signal is traveling much faster. So the insulation that you see over that strand is basically what we call as myelin. My idea is not to actually teach you biology here, but to tell you that that thicker strand is what myelin is, and thicker be the strand, more easily the information, the signal will travel from the organ or from one point of your body to your brain. Okay, so thicker this myelin insulation, faster is the flow of electrical signal in a nutshell. And every skill actually corresponds to certain network or pattern of this nerve connection. This pattern is actually created by myelin insulation as it directs the flow of electrical impulses. Okay, so we can say that at fundamental level, how myelin insulation is growing defines how skilled a particular person in a particular skill is. Okay, so just to make it easily understandable, let me give you an analogy here. So if I say that, say for example, somebody is aspiring to play guitar, they want to learn how to play guitar, and speaking strictly neuroscience point of view and myelin insulation point of view, say the myelin strand that will be formed in order to make somebody learn guitar at neuroscience level, it will correspond to a triangular nerve pattern. Okay, and maybe say any other skill like dancing or playing any other instrument is related to some other shape of the myelin insulation, maybe square or pentagon. Okay, so in short, what we are trying to say that when signals will flow in the form of say triangle, in the triangular shape, then the skill set of playing guitar is getting strengthened and you are going to play guitar exceptionally well. But if the signal flows slowly, or say there is a leakage, the shape is distorted of the myelin which is formed, then your performance would not be that good in comparison to in comparison to a person whose myelins formed for playing guitar are exactly triangular in shape. Okay, so the whole idea is to create myelins around the neural signals, the desired myelins, and to make a person skilled in that particular skill set. So question is, how do you think these circuits are getting created? Okay, so if I continue with the example of learning guitar, so before you even picked up the guitar, you did not have any such patterns, any such neural patterns, any such myelin formation happened. But when you started practicing, the electrical signals move from your fingers, say, to your brain. And this will happen over and over again as you are practicing more and more and more. So this made the myelin insulation grow thicker and thicker in the triangular shape itself. And every time a signal is fired, the myelin will grow in that direction so as to strengthen the signal and slowly carving out a particular pattern. Okay, remember that every time a signal is fired, myelin will strengthen, more layers will be added, and in turns, it will strengthen the future flow of signals and vice versa. Means what? Whenever you are going to have the practice of very, you know, a particular skill set that you're trying to acquire, more be the practice, more the signals will flow, and thicker and thicker. If the practice is perfect, then you are going to grow those myelins stronger and thicker. Okay, so can I say that the secret of acquiring any skill in nutshell is growing more myelin by sending precise and desired electrical signal over and over again? Yeah, but the question is, how do we do that? So guys, the answer to that is very, very, very simple, and that is deep practice. Now, you must be wondering, but I do practice. So, let me first clarify what do I mean by deep practice. Okay, so how will I give you an idea about deep practice is say by giving you another analogy. So I say that deep practice is like exploring a dark and unfamiliar room. Okay, so when you enter in that room, you are not aware about anything in that room. So definitely your approach would be to go very slow. And when you are starting slow, you may bump into some furniture. And when you are bumping into some furniture, obviously you will be hurt. So you will stop, you will think, and then you will start again. So slowly and little painfully, when you will restart, you will explore the space over and over and over again. And obviously, you will make a lot of mistakes, but you will try not to make and repeat those mistakes again and again. In this process, you are creating a mental projection of the room in your own mind. Yes or no, guys? So, like this, once you will have a complete map of that room created in your brain, you can actually walk very easily in that room by even closing your eyes and still not be hit by anything in that room and still be able to pick up everything. Just as when you move to a new house, you're not familiar with their house, with that particular house, but after living there, say for a year or 10, after that, you know each and every corner of that house. You know where exactly a particular switchboard is, which button will switch on a particular device, where exactly your books are placed, where exactly a particular utensil in the kitchen is placed. This is where the analogy for deep practice starts and makes the whole idea of familiarizing yourself with something which you actually had no idea about. Okay, so similar to this, when a student takes a, say, physics problem, so initially when you will start, you are actually starting as if you have no idea about how physics problems are supposed to solve. So when you are starting, obviously you have to be very slow. And when you will be solving questions, you will come across questions which you have relatively no idea about. Okay, it may actually put a lot of stress on you, in your brain. It may look very difficult, but the whole idea is to not give up and to stay in that room till the time you are creating a mental image of that particular problem that you're solving. So every problem in itself is like entering into a dark room and exploring it completely. Okay, so when you are paying full attention to all the mistakes that you are making every time when you're trying new and new things in that particular question till the time you are not able to get to the answer, those mistakes are basically the things which will make you understand what not to do with that question. Okay, so when you are going to pay full attention to all the mistakes and you will correct them obviously, so when you try to do this in a repetitive manner with deliberate attention and efforts, you are involving yourself into what I call as the deep practice. Okay, guys. Now, how am I going to, disclose the entire process? Is in terms of very simple three basic steps. Okay, and that will help you master the art of any problem solving in JEE prep. The step number one to that is what I say is getting familiar. Yes, keep that analogy of getting into the dark room in mind. So, when you are getting familiar with the JEE problem solving approach, you have to solve at least 500 problems by looking at the solution, but in weeks' time. Okay, guys, so 7 days, 500 problems, even by looking at the solution. So, how you're going to go about it? You will just simply write down the questions and solution by hand. And definitely, I want you to pay attention to how the questions are framed, how the concepts which are being involved being used there, which mathematical equations are being used, and what are the steps which are being used and skipped, and what is the reasoning which is being given. All this while you are writing by looking at the solution. Okay, so don't worry. Okay, if you are not able to understand it completely, that's still fine. Just keep on going forward by looking at the solution. You may not even 100% understand a particular question, but I want you to still keep on writing till the time you are completing those 500 questions in every week. Okay, why exactly we are doing this step of getting familiar? As the thing is counterintuitive in itself, you are getting familiar with the landscape of the problem solving. Okay, so as I said, this step may seem a bit counterintuitive, but it is designed to make you enter into the deep practice easier and faster. Okay, understand that it is useless if you are not following this with the next step that I'm going to tell you. This step will give you enough reference points or landmarks, uh, so that you are able to explore the unexplored dark room of problem solving. Okay, it is not necessary that you're only solving 500. If you are able to write more efficiently, you can increase the number of questions, but please at least solve 500 questions in that week. Okay, it will obviously not take much of your time when you are just looking at the questions and solving it. I know it will take time, but it is something which I will call more of an investment in the problem solving, the step of getting familiar. Now, the step which will give this step further meaning and the most important of the step is the deep practice step. Okay, guys. In this, once you have solved, say, 500 problems in a week, the next step would be to solve 100 new problems without looking at the solutions at all. And these 100 problems should be from the same topic which you were practicing 500 problems for in the previous week. For example, say you were solving problems from Newton's laws of motion. So those 500 problems you solved in a week from Newton's laws of motion, and now you are moving to unsolved new 100 problems. And obviously now there is no time allotted to it, because the objective is to solve those 100 problems without even picking towards the particular solution of that question. Okay, obviously you will be very slow when you are trying out this thing. You are now entering into the dark room. Okay, so when you are entering into the dark room, you have already made yourself equipped with all the things that you might need to safeguard yourself. Now you are entering into that dark room. Okay, you have been into that room, you have made yourself familiar. This time you will enter very slowly, attending to every step with full attention in a relaxed manner. Okay guys, remember, you have been into the similar kind of rooms where light was there. Now you are entering into the dark room where no light is there. So I want you to move very slowly. I want you to attempt the questions very slowly. Keep only one thing in mind: you don't want to look at the solution, and you want to be in that struggling process so that you make progress. And when you are in that struggling phase, guys, this is where the most crucial step actually started, because this initial struggle is very important, because this is where those myelin creations are happening. Okay, remember, those myelins, we want to grow them thicker and in a particular shape and size we want to make them, so that when we are going to write questions in the actual examination, when we will see those questions which are unfamiliar to us, those myelins will be there. They will make us understand the question quickly, and will be helping us in getting to the steps very, very, very efficiently. Okay, so pay attention to every mistake that you're going to make. Yes, you are going to make mistake, but you will correct them, and you will learn from those mistakes, but you will not give up. That's very, very, very important, guys. Okay, so this step is where the neural pathways are getting created, as I said, and that is why I want you to be totally honest with yourself. Okay, so I would say the entire session that I'm sharing here with you, this is the most important slide of that session. And every time when you will, you'll be solving a problem on your own, a neural pathway will be getting created in your brain, okay, and in your body itself. This step is obviously going to be very difficult when you are creating a new pathway. Remember that all the creations are very time taking and very difficult, and this will obviously take a lot of energy and time and deliberate effort from you. So obviously here comes the another factor here, and that is nothing but your own interest and your love for that particular subject, particular chapter, or maybe some other strong reason why you are actually doing this problem solving. Okay, remember, your why is very important, apart from the method itself, to keep you involved and to not let you give up in the process. Okay, so if you are not motivated enough, obviously you may quit and you may find it uncomfortable. And if you will still be in the gaps by making these mistakes, correcting and improving, that is where you are making the myelin insulations more and more stronger, and that is where you are developing the skill. Remember that. Okay, so that is obviously going to help you. For that, you have to be very honest, and you have to have your reason of doing this very clear with you. Okay, by the way, one can actually directly jump to the step number 2 also, but it will actually be relatively very difficult if you skip those 500 questions and directly jump to this. Okay, so it will be relatively easier to get to this, because you will already have some landmarks in your mind. You will have some pathways in your mind, because you have made yourself familiar with certain approaches, certain diagrams, certain formulae. So it will be easier for you if you have gone through that 1 week of 500 problem solving. Okay, so when you're spending enough time here, when you're solving slowly, attending to every step and correcting your own mistakes, okay, you are actually making sure that neural pathways are getting created in the desired shape, in the desired manner. Because otherwise you are creating bad circuitries in the path of the myelin circuits which are trying to create. And if that by any chance happen, then the skill set will remain average, and you don't want to develop a average skill set. So please make sure that you are not looking at the solution, you are solving the question by yourself, you are struggling through the process. Okay, so every time when you're going to solve a problem perfectly, a neural signal will be fired in a particular way, and the perfect myelin will be rewarded. It will get created by wrapping the neural path. Okay, and that is what we are looking for. Okay, guys. Last final step is becoming super skilled. And for that, all you have to do is just repeat step 2 and 3 over and over again. That means after those 2 steps completed, step number 2 will not have a defined timeline, but make sure that you are in that gap, you are in that struggling phase, completing those 100 questions. After that topic is done, pick a new topic, maybe from different subject, and from there start for a week, solve 500 questions or more than that in that week, and next week solve 100 questions, or no time limit but 100 questions without looking at the solution. So try to pick increasingly challenging questions each time when you are moving forward, and then you will be surprised to see how it becomes increasingly easy to solve every new problem with this time. Okay, guys. So remember, if you do the above steps properly, eventually you will reach a stage where you will be able to solve any problem instantly, and that means obviously getting into IITs is guaranteed. Okay, that means you are actually guaranteeing something to yourself. Remember, focused repetition will mean more and more myelin formation. Stronger, faster, and easier signals will be flowing in the brain, and you will be obviously becoming super skilled with that. Your performance will become more fluid and automatic. And what happens to the topper of the class? He just clicks with the answer. You will also be the one. Okay, and just like any musician, any sports person, you will become a highly skilled problem solver in this process. Okay, guys, I hope you understood the entire uh, science behind problem solving along with the process. I am nowhere saying it's a very easy one, but it is definitely something which, if you go for, you will be able to achieve the desired results. Remember one thing, that hard work beats talent if the talent doesn't work hard. So, what is more important is to do this hard work. Even if you are a talented guy, do not forget to continue doing hard work, because there is no shortcut to success. Okay, guys. So, especially for 2022 and 2021 students, they have ample amount of time in front of them to prepare for JEE examination. So, this is something which I'm sure is going to be practically more helpful for them to develop the skill set of problem solving. But for my 2020 students who are going to appear for the JEE examination now in the month of September, even if you're not able to develop the skill set to that level, we are there to help you out at Vedantu. With the help of a crash course, you can still uh, continue your JEE prep, strengthen your JEE prep. A lot of live sessions are being delivered in these crash courses. 20 plus tests will be conducted as the test series. You will be given the analysis of your own performance in during these tests, along with paper discussion. A lot of rank booster quizzes in the class happens, and much more uh, rewards are given in terms of recorded session tips and tricks. If you are still looking to strengthen your concepts in a particular chapter or maybe particular subject, you can enroll for this crash course. New batch is going to start very soon, and the link that you see here, guys, this link is the one that you are supposed to go on. When you click on this link available in the description box of this video, you will be directed to a page, Vedantu's homepage, where you will have to put a coupon code that is SMCC, and the crash course, which is actually worth rupees almost 25,000, could be yours for just under 3,000 rupees. Okay, guys, so do take the advantage. If it is easily affordable, go for it. It's going to be very helpful for JEE 2020 students. Okay, guys. Also, if you're a student who is new to JEE Prep and still not aware about the Telegram channel, where we share our assignment solutions, study material, and daily updates, the link to that is here and also available in the description box. You can follow that and come to the Telegram channel of Vedantu JEE. Okay, guys, I hope you found the session interesting and useful. If you do, and if you did, then do like this video, share with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you have not. So with more such videos, I will keep on coming back.